And so, what I'm interested in, and what mindfulness is most interested in, is not so much how do we clear the mind of thoughts, but how do we cultivate an awareness of what is going on in the mind in the first place? What is it paying attention to? What is it caught up in the future, in the past? And where do we actually want to direct our attention? That's a superpower. And when we learn to do that, we start to live our lives a little more intentionally. Instead of being swept around by stress and worry and chaos, we can actually choose what we focus on and subsequently how we feel. So there's this great quote by Viktor Frankl where he says, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response, and in our response lies our growth and our freedom. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. So what is that pointing to? Well, maybe you've had an experience before where someone makes you angry and then immediately you say something that you know you're going to regret. Or maybe you've had the experience where you hear you have a test coming up or a paper that's due, and immediately your mind starts going into, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to do this. It's too much work. What if I don't do well? What are my parents going to think? Right? Has that happened to you before? I know it certainly happened for me. We have an experience, which Viktor Frankl would call a stimulus, and then there's often a very quick reaction, response. And a lot of times it doesn't feel like we have control over that. What mindfulness helps us do is be able to be still enough so that we can see, oh, something's happening right now, and I'm going into a normal reaction, whether it's a thought process or something I say that I know I'm going to regret, and be able to inhabit that space between the stimulus and what happens next so that we can choose what happens next. The best way I know how to get into that space is this practice of mindfulness.